If you're in business, you should be kept informed. In Business on Radio Kerry, Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m.
You're very welcome back to In Business. Now, I promised you before the break that we would be talking to a very talented young man when we returned, and indeed we are, and I'm delighted to welcome him into studio. He's Timothy McGrath, who's a second-year student from Killorglin Community College, and he's joined in studio with me this evening by his Deputy Principal, am I saying it right?
Correct, yeah.
Donal O'Reilly, a Deputy Principal of Killorglin Community College, and you're both very welcome. And Timothy, we'll come to you in a second. I'm going to talk to Donal first because Donal, on the Talk About programme, which I present, which is kind of my day job, I'm only filling in on In Business. A few months ago, you got in touch with me to tell me about Timothy and another young man who had a very exciting project which they wanted to bring to the Young Scientists exhibition. So you might tell us about that, because that's kind of the germ of the story where it all began.
It actually started this time last year. We're currently applying or entering into the BT Young Scientist. But this time last year, Timothy and Donald Brennan looked at a classmate of theirs, Seamus Murphy, who is visually impaired, and they saw the baggage he's travelling around the school with to help him
get from A to B,
to magnify pages of books, to do tests, to see the board and all that. And they said, look, the power of the mobile phone that we have in our pocket is 10 times the size of what was used to get on the moon many years ago. Surely it can make this guy's life easier. So they put their heads. The two of them were involved in Coder Dojo in Killorglin, which was very strong. And they came up with an app, and they developed it. Now, what we were looking for you this time last year for was they needed to test it. And the two guys, even at the age of 12 and 13, they didn't have mobile phones. So fair play to you.
And good on their parents as well that they didn't.
Parents, yes. So that was this time, almost exactly this time last year, and they've gone from strength to strength. They've won Bank of Ireland awards in the Killorglin, the Bank of Ireland Business Town. They've gone on to represent us, and in the BT Young Scientist. They won the Boston Scientific Award. They won at SciFest. They won at Coder Dojo's Coolest Projects. And last week we travelled all the way to Amsterdam.
And Timothy, you might take up the story there. Tell us what you were doing in Amsterdam and how that all came about.
Yeah, so in Amsterdam, I was one of 5 representatives, the only one from outside of Dublin. And we were flown over there to represent Coder Dojo and show off the skills Coder Dojo teach us. And it was showing that what we learned at the Coolest Project too.
Okay, and you might explain to people what Coder Dojo is for the benefit of listeners who are not familiar with it.
Yeah, so Coder Dojo is an organisation that has groups all over Ireland in towns and cities that then teach children to learn how to code.
Okay, it's as simple as that. So what were you actually doing in Amsterdam, Timothy?
Yeah, so in Amsterdam, I had the project and I was showing it off and learning how to improve on the project with professional coders and getting contacts and making links to professional coders and Liberty Global themselves.
And this isn't the app that went to the Young Scientist. This is a different project, is it, or is it the same thing?
Well, the app is the one that I brought to the BT, but that was the one that I also brought to the Coolest Project with my friend Donald Brennan. But improving on it, I went to the Liberty Global and to make it into a website so that businesses and organisations can make their own NFC compatible app for themselves.
Okay, and what exactly does that term mean? Their own, what did you call it again? Their own NS?
NFC compatible app. It would be the same as the app that we made ourselves, but it would, instead of helping visually impaired people, they could change it to, say, recording, give them information about a project for a business or for a restaurant, to have it instead of menus.
So it kind of makes their life easier, people with visual impairment. What was the reaction like from your classmate, by the way, the guy who sparked all this thing off?
Yes, so Seamus, our classmate, he... when we developed it, he thought it was very helpful. We interviewed him ourselves And at the end of the project, when we had the app actually made and fully developed, he actually used it, and he is now using it in the school.
Wow, so he's very fond of you, I'd say.
Yeah.
Donald, this is an incredible success story, really, isn't it? And it just goes to show how persistence by Timothy and the other lad whose name is
Donald Brennan.
Donald, sorry, two Donalds, how it paid off. I mean, did anyone envisage you'd end up going to Amsterdam to this prestigious competition at the very start of it?
No, it has taken off. This is something that developed. I suppose it's very in keeping with the town of Clorglen, a great entrepreneurial spirit.
Where else?
Where else? As I was coming in, I saw Dennis McCarthy down the street, so it ties in very well with the town, the ethos of the town and all that. I suppose we never realised it was going to catch the imagination of so many people. And because I suppose it's attacking a social issue and it's helping people, and the lads aren't looking for money. The lads are looking to get this completed and release out for free. This isn't even though this is the business show, they're not looking to become multimillionaires out of it. And everywhere the lads travelled, that's what made them stand out. These aren't young bucks that are looking for the quick pound.
They don't want to be the next Collison brothers.
They love it, and they've promised me that they'll employ me as a driver if they do. But
you better get that in writing now, Donald.
But it is really caught the imagination, and it's great to see young guys like this getting in. Even in light this week with the OECD report coming down and saying maybe the coding and all this work on computers may not be the best thing in the world. These guys have struck a balance. They haven't dipped in their academics at all. They were working Christmas Day last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Timothy, what was the highlight of Amsterdam for you?
Oh, there was so many highlights. Meeting professional coders, linking Twitter accounts, making contacts was probably the most amazing thing about the event.
And did it give you any inspiration for other projects you might want to develop or careers you might want to develop?
Well, I don't know yet what I would like to develop or become, but it did show me that there is opportunities out there that I could explore, yes.
And you're in second year. Are you still in second year?
Yeah, I'm in second year.
Okay, so you've the junior cert is the next hurdle,
Yeah.
I suppose. And you're how old?
13.
Yeah, but you could probably see yourself somewhere in the technical, the digital world, the coding world, career-wise.
Yeah, hopefully.
And you've nothing specific in mind, though.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Are you working on anything else at the moment, or just concentrating on school?
Just starting a new project for the BT Young Scientist 2016, so trying to get that ready for this year.
Watch this space. Donald, are you a school in Killorglin Community College that encourages? Is there a particular ethos or interest in techie matters, IT, that type of thing in the school?
I would see us as leaders in everything. In the last, we've turned around in the last 10 or 11 years. The school has transformed. It has transformed for many reasons. There was a rollover of staff. There was a new management structure there. We've attacked. We were above in the Young Scientists exhibition 4 years ago. We were one of the first schools to come out and say, yes, we do have bullying in the school, and this is how we're going to investigate it. We don't shy away from things. Anybody that has walked into the school, what jumps out at them is the atmosphere there, the culture. There's no superiority between teachers and students. The relationships are very, very strong. And with that then comes a good work ethic, a respect and courtesy. What the lads are learning there, we're very much hold our teaching around our teaching methodologies about learning through doing, not just being lectured at. Get involved in it, and research has shown that if you get involved in your learning, you retain 75-80% of it. Whereas if you're sitting there listening to a lecture, you only retain about 25% of it. So that's what we've done, and these boys are a testament to what we do outside. But we've 130 more like them, So it's great, and there's another 130 juniors waiting to start up as well. So it's a fantastic school. We've 240 students enrolled this year, and the buzz there is absolutely fantastic. This year particularly, because these two guys came back, and success breeds success as well. And the fact that, again, as I said, because their academics didn't suffer, they're able to balance it. and we now have we currently are working on 10 entries into the BT Young Scientist 2016. So from 1 to 10, if we can keep multiplying that every year, we'll win it eventually. We'll be as good as Kinsale Community College.
Very good. Well, there's nothing like being ambitious. Timothy, it's great to talk to you. It's lovely to meet you in person.
Thanks.
I think we spoke on the phone before on the other programme. But I await with bated breath to find out about your next project for the BT Young Scientist. So who knows, we might be talking again. But for now, though, thank you for coming in and good luck with your studies and with your future. I have a feeling we'll be hearing your name again. And thanks also to Donald O'Reilly, the
Thanks.
Deputy Principal of Killorglin Community College. It's just coming up to 6:30. You're listening to In Business with me, Deirdre Walsh, in this evening for Anna Curtin. We've got a break to take, but when we come back, we'll be talking about how to maximise your business in the last quarter of 2015.
In Business on Radio Kerry. Brought to you in association with Fexco, your trusted partner.
Knowing that at any